Hello mga kababayan, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Laruan ni Obi-Wan. In my toy hunt this afternoon, I was able to snag one of these figures. So we finally have the Batman action figure by Mcfarlane Toys, of course, for the new Batman movie. So this is the Pattison Batman. I didn't want to purchase any merchandise, especially action figures, before I watched the movie. So actually this is a purchase because it was just when I visited my local toy store, this was the thing that was there and this was the thing that was only new. So I told myself, what the heck, I'll just get one and review it immediately. So this is actually an unboxing and first impressions of the action figure. Of course, I already saw the trailers that is associated with the movie, so I'm expecting some things out of the action figure that I saw on the trailers. So immediately when I took this figure out of packaging, I was looking for the holsters. So we have the straps over here for the holsters, but for the holster, I mean holster, single holster, but we don't have a holster here. That is supposed to house the grapple gun, and I'm really surprised at the size of this grapple gun. So you have my fingernail, and look at that. So compared to the action figure, it's just way too small as a grapple gun. So I think this is something that I'm going to replace. So the other thing that I also noticed is this right open hand, and we have a hole on that open hand. We have a peg, and it just does not take a lot to understand how that thing is going to work. And as you could see, somehow I don't like it. I really don't like it. So I guess this accessory is going to be replaced, and that hand is going to be replaced. The third thing that I didn't like about this action figure was the scallops on the forearms. So I was expecting that those scallops would be quite of substantial length, and they would be, as I think possible, as hard as the material that they used for the bat ears. So I'm even surprised that the bat ears on this action figure is made of really hard plastic and they're really pointed. But when you go to the scallops or the forearm, it is made of soft rubbery plastic, and out of the box this portion is already bent and out of shape. So with the other side over here, so this other one, I just tried to fix that with a little bit of blow dryer time, and somehow it got straight. But with this other side, I already tried to fix that. There's just no point in heating this thing up. It would still remain out of shape. Okay, and the last item that I have a gripe on with regards to this figure would be the eyes. Somehow the eyes would be looking always sideways upwards. Anyway, just quick simple fix. I could just paint those eyes white, and I have a really good looking mask this time instead of this one that there's a painted eyeball on that, but the eyeball is not that so visible and the eyes are staring upwards always. So I'd rather have a white eyeball on a neutral stare. So those are just going to be the three things that I don't like about this action figure: the eyes, the scallops, and this hand. So anyway, we have other Batman action figures in my collection, Mcfarlane action figures, which I could possibly just replace handsets with, so even a fist. Okay, so with those things out of I've already discussed, what is it that I really like about this action figure? One, when I took this action figure out of box, it is ready for play. The joints are nice and good for posing and play, so no need to apply heat. The joints are already good. Next is the proportions on the body of this action figure. So no part on the body is way too long or way too short. Somehow the proportions are great. So the thighs are not way too thin or not way too thick. The shins are not way too long or way too short or way too skinny. And the balls on the sockets are nicely covered on the foot, and even on the balls for the hands for articulation, it is still there, you see it, but Mcfarlane has made an effort of quite concealing those ball joints. So really great feature. And out of the box, I really like the articulation points and the figure that I have of a Batman that really stands on its own. This figure is nicely balanced, unlike the other Mcfarlane Batman action figures that I have in my collection. The ones before this action figure, those have really gravity issues. So once you leave them, after just a few seconds, they would fall either flat face forward or flat backwards. But this one, once you pose it, it holds its ground. So off camera, after 2 hours of playing with this figure, and finally I have done a little bit of modification or tweaking or possible custom work on this. I really don't know, but I'm satisfied with what I did to this action figure. So first thing I took off were the handsets. So those baby hands now are gone, so they're going to my parts bin. So with the grapple gun, we don't have any use for this now. So I replaced the handsets on this action figure with a bigger handset. So this handset came from this Batman figure. So right now, this Batman figure sports 2 fists instead of hands or C-cup shaped hands to hold on things. So right now, this figure sports those handsets. So I could just possibly assign any type of Batman accessory I have in my parts bin. So Batman accessories that we have, so we have this from another Batman. Of course, we have another grapple gun. We have batarangs, another batarang, or even a pair of these older style batarangs from another action figure that I have. So I still have many parts for this now, since it is all black. And somehow I checked the does it match? Yes, they do. The only thing is, when you take a look at the figure, because of the handset, the arms seems a little bit, just a little bit long, but really not that ridiculously gorilla type. Okay, so the next thing I did, since we have straps on this side, I still had that grapple gun from another Batman action figure that I have, and it is lying there waiting for a new home, and it found its home with this Batman action figure. So what I did was just put in a peg system, drill a hole on the side over there, and we have a peg there, and it's not visible when Batman is holding on to this accessory, and actually he holds it really well. So could even angle that for a grapple shot. And if he has to fight off bad guys with batarangs, he could store this grapple gun on the side, so that way, and somehow it looks good. And you could let this Batman hold to any batarang that you have in your parts collection. And there you go. Since this Batman really does not have accessories, almost zero accessories, just with that small grapple gun. So right now you could do that, and with all of the other accessories that you have lying around, you could let this Batman hold on to those pieces. And since the hands and majority of this figure, 98% of it is black, he could go away with quite a bit just quite a bit on over length of the arms, but really not that atrocious that it's way too ugly. Because when you apply those handsets with this, it makes the arms really long. So actually, I like the look of the twin fists on this figure. I would have wanted the twin fists on this figure. They really look good. But if you have this good of a figure, of a good looking figure with all of those details, it's just hard not to let go of this figure with just fist. It has to hold on to bat equipment. So that's the reason why, even if it's quite the arms looks quite long, I put on the C-caped handsets on this figure. But with that, I'm really satisfied with how it looks right now. And with regards to playability, I could really play around with this figure and do nice toy photography. And I even love the look of that grapple gun on his side. So the next thing that I would just be painting on this figure would be those eyes. So they're just going to be nice and white. And possibly even, I think I'm going to go to the extreme of even painting the lower half of the face just black. So I'm going to have an all black Batman. Anyway, this is my action figure. So this ends my review. If you find this on shelves, it's an okay purchase. But if you want to wait for the movie, well, watch the movie first. So it's your choice. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And see you on the next review.